Hi, I'm Jason with RPC Electronics. In this video I'd like to show some products that we're working on. I've got several new products that were actually customer requests. In fact, I think all of these were customer requests. So, needless to say, none of them are in production just yet, but they are things we're working on. And definitely would like to show some of these things off, and it would be great to get some feedback to find out if there's some genuine market interest in these things. So, for starters, we'll start off with this little panel here. So this first product is something that was requested by several clubs that have standard module layouts. And I knew this from being an N-scale module layout guy in the past, that you typically have 4 lines, sometimes 3, but typically have 4 lines on a module, meaning main lines. I was approached by some guys asking me for a way to monitor each one of those lines per module. They got the idea from our CAD Plus panel, CAD Panel Plus, where we have a DCC indicator on right there on the panel, and I've always marketed that as a nice feature that when you put one of those panels in a module, you can feed the DCC from the track. And they said that's great, but what if we want to monitor the DCC presence on individual tracks on the module? And it got me thinking. I said, well, that's a good point. So anyways, I was asked to come up with some kind of panel that would basically have that broken out. So what I have here is it's a basic board, but it has 4 inputs, terminal blocks for each track. They're labeled. And then we have a bicolor red-green LED that's on the board right there. And as you can see, it glows orange, and that's from the polarity of the DCC flipping back and forth. It's green and red is lighting basically almost at the exact same time. At least to the human eye, that's the way it looks. And that's why you have that orange. This panel, this is just a 3D printed little mock-up panel that I did. Just something that I could, kind of show it off, but the actual fascia panel will be just like all the other fascia panels that we have with our other products, the black with the white markings on it, and we'll have mounting holes, and it will be a polished product when it's all said and done. So anyways, that is the track indicator. We're calling it the multi-track or multi-track monitor panel, and that will be coming real soon. Okay, next I would like to talk about this panel right here. Okay, this panel is our mainline programming switch panel. And the idea for this came from a customer who had one of our DC-DCC panels and said, I really like the form factor, but I'd like to have a version of this that will allow me to switch between the mainline and a programming track. And they just want something very simple, but also wanted the visual indication. So basically, it's almost the exact same panel with different labeling for those particular functions, and also the fascia panel that will be that will match with it will also have those changed labels on the fascia panel. So if you already have our DC-DCC switch, then you know exactly the form factor and size that this is, because this is identical to that. Okay, a third thing that we're working on is this panel right here. Okay, this panel is a simple track disable panel. Again, it was an idea that came from a customer who said they just wanted a very elegant way, if you will, of disabling a track or maybe a section of track or module. They wanted to be able to just simply toggle it off and on. They wanted an LED to indicate whether it was energized or not. And that is exactly what this panel does. And if I show you on the back, you have your connection for 9 volts DCC for the LED. And then you have essentially track in and track out. And when this is in enable mode, passes DC or DC through the panel, and when it's in disable mode, it will break that connection and it will turn the LED red. And when it's enabled, the LED is green. So that is going to hopefully be available soon. The fascia panel will be just like all the rest of them, black with the white markings, and of course it will be labeled accordingly for this particular product. Okay, last but not least, this is a product that I've been working on for quite a while. Made some design changes. It definitely wasn't ready for prime time just yet, but now I'd like to definitely show it off in this video. Okay, this is a product called the MultiSelect Panel, and what this is a very simple way of being able to direct your DC or DCC voltage to a specific track, specific section of track, a module, however you want to do it. This is a four-way switch. As you can see, it's got LED indications, so of course I can switch through whichever section of track or whatever output I want to select. On the back side, you can see that there's an input terminal block, and then you've got your four associated output terminal blocks going to the specific track section or module or whatever. And again, our standard connection for a 9-volt DC power supply to light the LEDs. Okay, just for a quick demo, I've got the MultiSelect panel connected up to all four channels of my oscilloscope. You can see all the alligator clips here connected up, but I want to show you the DCC signal switching through all four selections. Okay, as you can see here, I've got a DCC signal coming from my NCE power cab, and that's on channel 1 of the scope, which corresponds to channel 1 on the MultiSelect panel. If I switch to 2, you'll see it switches to channel 2 of the scope, channel 3, and channel 4. And since there's complete switching of both sides of the terminals, you get complete isolation between them. Okay, thanks for watching this video. Again, if there are any suggestions or feedback on the products I showed in this video, it's always appreciated if you can give us a comment in the video or send us an email, anything like that. Any feedback is positive for us. So thanks for watching, and see you in the next video.